同学们好.
老师好.
Welcome everybody. Great to see you. And welcome to our second class. It's the 8th of June. We're at the beginning of the second section of the Yang Family Tai Chuan traditional form, second section. Last week we did Embrace the Tiger, part 1. Today we'll do part 2. So let us begin with our standing practice. Today we'll start as always with a parallel stance, but I want to actually practice doing standing practice in bow stance today. So let us begin. Start with feet shoulder width apart and feet parallel, pointing forward. Check your feet. It's really easy for us sometimes to have our feet pointing out to the corners or to the angle. Have them as straight as is comfortable for you. And let us begin. So first we'll do the 4 body posture checks. So 1, head pushing up. So feel the center of your head, the crown of your head pushing up. And feel the rest of your body sinking down from the neck on down. Lift your arms and make a nice round circle. Hold a barrel or hug a tree. So we've done lifting up head. Number 2 is shoulders down, elbows down. So feel your shoulder blades dropping down your back. Feel weight pulling your elbows down. Now we'll do number 3. Absorb the chest slightly round the back. Do that by feeling your elbows pulling out from the spine to open up your spine. And feel the fingertips pulling at the elbows. So you have this big circle, which is like part of a balloon. Now bend your knees and sink down. And feel your whole body from the top of your head to the center of your pelvis stacked over the point between the centers of your feet. So you're stacked. And now feel number 4, which is relax the waist. We do that by dropping our hips vertically down. The waist is the lower back, the lumbar spine. So relax means open and extended so that everything is connected. Now feel the weight on the soles of your feet. Check that it's even front and back so that you don't have more weight on the balls than the heels. And it's also even side to side. So you're not standing on the outside edge of your feet or knock-kneed on the inside. And feel your breathing. See how easily your abdomen moves as you breathe smoothly in and out. So release from that. We'll do bow stance. Let me just review quickly the requirements for bow stance. So the first, as you know, for all stances actually, is the one foot is to corner and the other foot is to straight. Sometimes both are to straight, but there's either 45 degrees between them or they're parallel. We have weight over the bubbling well, which is both feet are flat on the ground, forward, back, and crotch rounded so that the knees and toes are in a line, not collapsed in, but out. Next, let's talk about the length of the bow stance. So it's always shoulder width apart. So whatever your shoulder width is, go out. The length is as far as you can go forward and come back. So if you have a high stance, so your leg is not, your supporting leg is not very bent, you won't go very far forward, and that's fine. If you sink more, you'll go further forward. Now let's look at the shape of the legs. So the front leg is bent. So the knee is a little bit ahead of the ankles, but isn't over the toes. The back leg is straight, but not locked. And the weight distribution is 60% on the front, 40% on the back. Now we're also going to do sitting back, and this is actually an empty stance, but the footwork is a bow stance. 70% on the back, 40% on the front, 30% on the front. The last thing I want to remind you of is we've talked about, actually, let's talk about the body setting. So when you're forward here, your torso is tilted forward in line with the back leg. When you're back, you still want to have a slight forward fold of your upper body. We do have one stance in bow stance where the torso is vertical. The other thing is when you're in this bow stance, make sure that your tailbone is centered between your heels, between the line parallel going through your front foot. So be careful that you're not tilted, I'm exaggerating, tilted this way or too much to this side. So let us begin. So let's start in our usual stance for parallel stance, standing practice. Shift your weight onto one foot, open the other one to the corner, shift your weight onto that and step forward into a bow stance and come forward. And we'll just do 1 minute on a side. You can do more at home when you practice. But as you're here, remember your torso is coming forward in line with the back leg. Check your posture, head up, shoulders down, elbows down. Absorb the chest round the back, so feel that circle pulling your elbows. And now drop the hips. Relax the waist. Even though you're leaning forward, relax the waist. Check your footwork. Do you have the weight even on your feet, front and back, and side to side? And now check your breathing. See whether your abdomen moves as you breathe in and out. Change to the other side. So shift your weight back. Bring the front foot in, put it down 45 degrees. Shift onto that foot. Step the other foot out into a bow stance. You're going in the forward direction. Torso is leaning forward. And here, we'll do our checks. Feel the crown of your head being lifted up as if there's a string pulling the crown of your head up. So the front of your face is vertical. Shoulders sinking, elbows dropping. Chest absorbed, back slightly rounded. Waist relaxed. And check your weight. Both feet are nice and flat on the ground. Particularly your back foot. It's very easy for us to come forward too much so that we lift our back heel. If necessary, push your hips back just enough so that you get a nice solid bow stance. And that's a minute. So let's change. Come back. Other foot to 45 degrees. Step out into a bow stance. We'll start in the forward bow stance here. And now I want you to sit back. So now you've got 70% on the back foot, 30% on the front. Check your crotch is rounded. Check that your knees aren't collapsed in. Your hip is open slightly wider and your chest is pointing to the corner or perhaps even more than the corner, but your head is pointed in the same direction as your front foot. So your nose and your front foot are pointing in the same direction. Head up, shoulders down, back rounded, waist relaxed. Feel your breathing. And we're going to change. We're already at the back. Bring the front foot in, put it down 45 degrees, shift to the other side, step out. Come forward first, so establish your forward bow stance, and then shift back. 70% on the back leg. Make sure that both feet are nice and flat. Head up, shoulders down, absorb the chest, relax your hips down so that your lower back is open, and see what your breathing is like. You want to have a slight forward fold in the direction of your front leg. And breathe. Now we're going to go into the third one. So shift your weight back, bring the front foot in, put it down 45 degrees, step out. We're going to start in the forward bow stance. So our torso is going forward, but now we're going to straighten it. So our torso is now vertical. Our chest is open more than corner, hips are open more than corner. Torso vertical, make sure that your hips are level, particularly the back hip, and look in the direction of your front foot. Even though your chest is open to one side, you might feel a little bit of tension in your neck. Just do what's comfortable, don't overdo it. Okay. So we're in this posture, sit back, change feet. This is the last one. Step out. We'll go into the forward bow stance to begin with. So you're tilted forward here. Now as you rotate your chest vertical with the torso, open the hips, make sure the hips are level, looking straight ahead. Feel the weight on your feet, even front and back, still 60% on the front, 40% on the back, crotch rounded, waist relaxed, so feel your hips dropping straight down. Feel your chest absorbed, back slightly rounded, shoulders down, elbows down. And push up with the head, so pushing up with the head and everything else hangs down from the neck on down. And breathe. Observe your breathing. You can't avoid breathing, but sometimes our breathing isn't what we'd like it to be, which is why we do still practice. And release, so come forward, bring the back foot parallel to the front foot, and relax. So that's our standing practice for today. The reason I did the bow stance version is that we're going to be doing a lot of work in bow stance this week. Next week, we're actually going to be doing a movement which ends up in an empty stance. So next week, we'll do empty stance standing practice. Okay, so let us start by practicing some of the form that we've done in the past. Let me just say hello to people that have joined, Denise and Michael and Dita, hello. And Robert and Aileen are with us. Great to see everybody. Okay, good. Oh, and just so that, just a reminder, I am wearing my little armband. This is my left arm to help you figure out which side is the left. Okay, we are going to be doing the form from the end of the first section, from handstrom loop. So if we started facing that way towards the camera, we're now going towards the left. Handstrom loops, you're in empty stance, 70% on the back leg, heel touch with the front leg, left arm forward, right arm tiger's mouth pointing to the forearm center. So from here, left brush knee, right brush knee, left brush knee, handstrom loop, step forward, sorry, handstrom loop, left brush knee, step forward, parry block and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to the mountain. And that's as far as we went last week. Let's do that again. So if, as you go through this, see if there are any things that you have questions about, we can address them. One of the things we've been thinking about, I'd like you to think about is how your weight moves from one foot to the other as you go through the form. So I'm going to turn around, so you would start probably going this direction. So looking at the camera, I'm going to turn around. Again, we're going to start at the end of the first hand strum loop. And I will call a few cues this time, just as a reminder. Left brush knee, both arms circle, one circles down, the other circles up. Step out to a bow stance, heel touch. Foot flattens, right arm to the shoulder, knee bends, striking out. Left brush knee to right brush knee. Open, swing and step. As the weight shifts forward, one arm to the shoulder, the other brushes, knee bends, push out. Left brush knee, lift the right arm halfway up, open the right foot to the corner, one circles up, other circles down, heel touch, brush, and push. Hand strums loop, yield forward weight, step into one line, two sides, pull back with the right arm, make us rotate the wheel, left hand lifts, right hand pushes down. Left brush knee, arm circles down, the other arm circles up, close and step, you're looking at the back corner, then brush, one arm to the shoulder, the other out, one arm out, the other arm back. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Shift weight, slightly lift the left arm halfway. With body turning, open the knee now. Both arms circle down for the first parry. Heel touch, center line to sides, arm to the back corner. Second parry, all the weight shifting over onto the right foot. Block, heel touch, and then shift the weight onto the left foot 60 degrees, 60% as you punch out. Apparent closing up, yield forward as the left arm goes to the left, then left goes right, right comes left, sit back your weight as you block out with the left arm, the right arm pulls down in front of your chest. Turn the chest square, sit the palms before the ribs, and push out. Cross hands. As you sit back, rotate the waist, rotate the arms, block out to the corner. Big arms circle, both rotate, arms cross as the right foot touches the ground. Lift into cross hands. From here, embrace tiger, return to the mountain. Shift your weight to the right. Pivot on the left heel, left foot more than corner, less than straight. Sit back, circle the arms, step out to a bow stance. Both arms point to the side, brush and push. And stop. So there we have what we've done so far in the second section. Are there any questions? Okay, so let us review what we did last time, which was embrace tiger, return to mountain. We'll practice it a few times, and I think we should have time that I can actually watch you and see if there are any things that I omitted that I need to underline. So let us just review the movement, embrace tiger, return to mountain, part one. So we start in cross hands. So I'll do the footwork first. We are in parallel stance, feet shoulder width apart. We're going to shift, actually I'll start with my back to you for the first part. We're going to shift our weight to the right, turn the left foot, pivot on the left heel, left foot comes in almost to the straight direction. Your weight is still mostly on the right. Sit your weight onto the left, pick up the right foot, bring it in, step out to the corner, or to the 45-degree relative to the back foot, heel ball toe, bend knee. So let's review the footwork. Again, I'll do it from this direction. It's quite important that you feel the shift from one side to another. So let's do it together. 1, shift your weight to the right. Turn the left toe almost to straight. Sink your weight onto the left foot. Pick up the right, step out into a bow stance. Heel ball toe, bend knee. What I want you to do here is check that you are in a bow stance. Do you have 45 degrees between the back foot and the front foot? Doesn't matter exactly which direction they're pointing. And check that you have shoulder width. And the way we check shoulder width is bring the back foot parallel to the front foot, bring it forward, and use your thumbs to thumbs and pinky finger test. Are you more or less shoulder width apart? Michael, you were having trouble with your knee last week. Has that been better for you this week? How's it been going as you do that weight shift?
Yeah, I'm thinking about keeping the alignment more so when I move. So it's a little bit better because I'm consciously thinking keep my knee over my foot in the same direction.
Okay, I can barely hear you because you're so far away from the camera.
Oh, yes, I've been trying to keep my knee over my foot in the same
Yes.
direction, and I think if when I crouch down a little bit lower, it keeps it in place.
Yes.
If I move up, then it has a tendency to pull in.
The other thing that occurred to me this week is this practice that we've just been doing for standing practice for the bow stance. You could actually just do this practice and go from one bow stance to the other without stopping. So go into the bow stance, come back, chain, step forward, come back, and do this as long as you're comfortable. This is a way of gradually strengthening your thighs and improving your balance. And if you do the practice this way, you can really focus on your back knee and make sure that you keep the back knee open as you shift your weight over and step out. One of the reasons I like standing practice is that it's a gentle way to actually improve our leg strength without having to worry about all the arm movements. So doing the form helps, of course, too, but there's so much else going on. Okay, so we've done the footwork. Now let's talk about arm movements. So we're starting in cross hands. And we shift our weight to the right, bring the left toe in almost to 90 degrees. Nothing changes with the arms. Then we're going to drop the right elbow and open up the right palm. The right hand circles up, left hand circles down. As you step out, brush and push. So the brush and push is the same as we do in brush knee and push. Let me just review again what the movement is, particularly of the right arm. So what we're doing with the right arm, let's start here. No, I'll start here. So we're going to drop the right elbow slightly. So you can see that my elbow comes in, well, actually my elbow goes down and my palm goes out a bit. And at the same time that that happens, I'm going to open my elbow. So I'm dropping my elbow and opening my elbow at the same time. And then I'm going to do a brush. So I drop the elbow, open the arm, and then in one smooth movement, lift the right arm, goes up and presses down. So I want you, when you practice this, to see if you can feel the circle there. So as you open, there's a circle as you lift the right hand from more or less the horizontal up and then pressing back down again. The left arm is actually more or less straightforward because when you drop the right elbow and open the right palm, you make space for your left hand to come down. So you're opening the right hand. The left hand can then circle down and go into the sitting position that we have for brush knees. So my left hand is just going to circle down, and when it gets to the sitting position, my right arm arrives at the same time. From here, we do brush knee and push. So that was part one. Part two is the left arm comes to the shoulder and the right arm goes forward. So here you want your left palm sitting in front of your shoulder, back nice and rounded, and then press out with the left and the right comes back. So let's do those movements together a few times. We're in cross hands. Shift the weight to the right. Pivot the left foot almost through 90 degrees, more than corner, less than straight. Sit back your weight, open the right arm. The left arm goes down, right arm goes up. Left arm comes up, right arm presses down. So now you're in this close and step posture. You've got a heel touch with the right foot. As you shift your weight forward, it flattens the foot. The right arm brushes and the left arm comes to the shoulder. Pressing out bends the knee, and you end up in a right brush knee posture. Again, starting at cross hands, shift the weight to the right, turn the left toe, more than corner, less than straight. Sit onto the left, open the right arm. Now make that circle with the right arm up as the left arm circles down. They meet at the corner. Check that your fingertips, your tiger's mouth of the right hand is pointing at the left forearm center. Now brush and push. Next thing to talk about is the body turning. So let's just make sure that we're in sync on body turning. It's pretty straightforward with this one. So as we shift our weight to the right from cross hands, the whole body turns, but it's the pivot on the left heel. I'm going to sit back, open the arms, step out into my bow stance. There's a slight turn, body turn to the left to make sure that your arms are pointing to the wall directions. Then you brush. Don't move your chest much because you want to keep your waist turn for your strike at the end. Do that again. Shift your weight to the right, turn, left foot in pivot. Open the arms, brush. Now, close the arms. Now, bring the left arm to the shoulder, brush with the right. Don't turn your waist much. Leave the waist turn to your strike at the end. Last thing to review is where are we looking? So we are starting in cross hands. We're looking in the same direction as our crossed arms. Shift our weight, turn. We're looking in the direction of the crossed arms. Now, as we open the right arm, follow the right palm direction as it closes. So in the end, you're looking in the direction of your left arm and your right palm. So that's the direction you're looking. As you do the brush, follow your right hand direction. And then follow the left hand direction, which is still in the front direction, in the same direction as your front foot. Just to put a fine point on it, when I say look in the direction of your hand, I don't mean look at your hand. I mean look at the horizon in the direction of your hand. Okay, let's practice that a few times, and I will, let me just start from this direction, same direction that you're going. So embrace tiger, return to the mountain, shift weight to the right, pivot on the left heel, sink onto the left, open the right arm circles up, left arm circles down, arms close as you step out, heel touch. Brush as you start looking in the direction of your front foot, your chest hasn't turned yet. As you strike out, the chest turns. And release. The first thing I'd like to just remind you of is cross hands. So when we're in cross hands, where do we cross our arms? I think some of us tend to cross our hands at the palms. It's actually at the center. Oh, let me take this off. It's actually at the center of the forearms, where you do your arms cross at the center of the forearms, and it's not here. It's here. It's a double ward off. The second thing that I'd like to just review a little bit more is, firstly, this transition to the arms to the side that we do in this movement. And then I also want to just do the brush knee and push things a few times. So let's review this again, because I'm not explaining this very well. So we're going to focus on the arm movements. From cross hands, drop your right elbow and flatten your right arm. Then circle down with the left, circle up with the right, down with the right, up with the left, and you're going to end up in this position. So let's do that again. Open the right arm, left down, right up, right down, and they meet pointing to the side. Again, open the right arm, then left down, right up, right down, and they meet at the side. One more time. Let me do it from this direction. Open the right arm. Left goes down, right goes up, left goes up, right comes down, and they meet here. Now, from here, we're going to do brush and push. So if you're doing it in the form, the right arm goes forward, the left arm comes to the shoulder, and then the hand at the shoulder comes out, and the hand at the hip goes down. And so we do this movement on both sides in the brush knees. And we do it a lot. And it's important, it's helpful to actually make sure we're really precise about that. And so what I'd like to do with you and show you is actually a way of practicing this on both sides. And this comes from Master Youngjin's wellness exercises. So we're just going to stand here. And so just start with your hands down and imagine you're mirroring me. I'll imagine you're mirroring me, so I'll call it out as if I'm calling your arms. So we're going to go to the right first. So circle to the right. See, to the right. Then the right hand comes to the shoulder and the left hand goes forward. Then the right hand goes forward and the left hand comes back. Now we're going to go to the other side. Circle the left down, the right up, and then meet at the side. Now the left comes to the shoulder, the left and the right goes out straight. The left goes forward and the right comes in. To the other side, circle and meet. The left goes forward, right comes to the shoulder. Left comes in, right goes out. Other side, circle the left down, circle the right up, and then the left up and the right down, or out to the side. The left comes to the shoulder, the right goes out. The right comes in, the left goes out. So let's do that a couple more times. Circle to the side. Left comes forward, right comes in. Left comes back, right goes out. To the other side. Right goes out, left comes to the shoulder. Right comes in, left goes out. And so when you practice this for yourself, and we'll just do it this way, we're gradually going to speed up. I think you'll actually find it's easier the faster you go, because there are fewer things to think about. So we'll go to the one side. This is what I call brush and push. To the other side. Brush, push. To the side. Brush, push. To the side. Brush, push. to the side, brush, push, to the side, brush, push, and stop. And in fact, this is a good way of doing a little bit of waist exercises, particularly if you've got your hips immobilized, so you're just turning at the waist from one side to the other. Are there any questions? Sam?
Thanks, Pierre. Could we talk a little bit about the strike when we do cross hands? Because when I'm like this and I'm bringing my arm back, stepping out, I want to start my lean in one continuous moment and save a little for the last. Does that make sense?
Let's think about
instead of starting it from when my hand is here and then striking, I want to bring the hand in and kind of still be leaning through this process and not start the lean just with the push.
Yes. So the question is, when do you start the lean? When do you do the strike? Yes. So as we always say, we practice continuously without interruption through each movement. So we don't stop. The second is we also say upper and lower goes together. So the movement, the energy that comes from your leg movement shows up in your hands. So as you're pushing from the legs, you will be moving with the hands. However, what I was saying about the waist turn is you do want to leave more for the strike at the end than you have for the first part of it. So let's just talk through that in just a little bit of detail. So we're starting in cross hands. You know, I have a slight forward fold here, not much. I shift to the right, I turn. Now I'm going to open and step out. So here, you know, I have a slight forward fold in the direction of my front foot, but not much. Now I'm going to start pushing with the back leg. The pushing of the back leg is going to flatten my foot and bend my knee. The first thing it does, it flattens my foot and my hand comes to my shoulder. I'm beginning to do my lean, but I do more of the lean and more of the waist turn at the end because I'm going to end up in this lean at the end.
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
That's it?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Robert, please.
So I have a question about the first part of the step. Let's see, starting from cross hands, I know you're supposed to end up in a bow stance at some point, and I know that you're supposed to do the arms. Which one happens first? As in, should I be in the bow stance before I start the arms? Okay.
Wonderful question. Thank you for asking it. So let's review what the coordination is between the feet and the arms. So I'll break it down into the freeze frames 1, 2, 3, 4, just to show you the coordination points. And I hope I will answer your question as we go. So 1, I'm going to shift my weight to the right, turn the left toe in. I haven't done any bow stance, anything yet. 2, I'm going to open my right arm and do the swing, and as my arms close, I step out into the bow stance. So when my heel touches in the bow stance, my arms are out to the left side. Then I do the brush and the push.
Okay, that makes sense. The second question was whether I should be following the arms backwards like this, and that would be a yes.
Following with your gaze?
Right.
Yes. That is a yes.
All right. Yep, that answers the question.
Okay. Good questions. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to finish Embrace Tiger, Return to the Mountain today. And most of it, you know, because it's roll back in a slightly different way, press and push. So I think I will start in this direction. So I've done the first part of Embrace Tiger, Return to the Mountain. This is probably a better direction. So I'm going to do rollback here. This is what rollback looks like in Embrace Tiger, Returns to the Mountain. Then I do press, and push. And so when you start the second part of Embrace Tiger Return to the Mountain, you are in a right bow stance to the diagonal. Depending on where your left foot turned, it'll be more or less to the diagonal. I'm actually going to do it to the front, just so that you can see me from the front. So I'm in this position here. Let's do the weight, the movement of the weight. Let me just see. There was a message. Thanks, Dita. Enjoy. Okay, so we're going to move our weight back from this forward bow stance to this bow stance footwork that we call empty stance at the back. And in the counting, we're actually going to do that in 2 steps. One is going to be halfway, so our weight is 50-50. And then the second part is 70% on the back, 30% on the front. Then we're going to do press and push, which is just come forward, go back, go forward. That you know. The arm movements for row back. So we're starting here. The first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to start showing it in this direction. So you practice with me. Number 1, as my weight goes back halfway, I lift the right hand to in front of my shoulder and the left palm turns up. That's 1. 2, with a waist turn, I'm going to press out with my right arm and left arm comes back. And then I'm going to turn at the waist to finish the roll back. Do that again. So we start in your right bow stance, right palm by your right thigh. 1, lift the right hand, turn over the left. 2, sit back your weight all the way to 70% as you press out with the right hand and left fingertips point to the right forearm center, and then turn your waist to the left. Again. 1, weight comes back to 50-50, right arm to shoulder, left arm turns over. 2, push forward with the right forearm, pull back with the left hand. 3, roll back. Something I want you to notice is when so I'm in this position here. When I lift my right hand, I want to make sure that I keep my chest sinking. Remember our posture checks, back rounded, chest absorbed. And so if I show you this from the front, I'll show you 2 ways of getting your hand from here to here. One way is doing this. And you can see that my elbow goes backwards. I just bring my hand up and my elbow is back. The other way is actually for my elbow to come out. And you can see that better from this direction. I lift my palm to in front of my shoulder, and you can see my elbow comes out. Your elbow coming out is a way of ensuring that your elbow always stays at your side or further forward, which is what we need for this. So when you lift your right hand, make sure that your elbow comes out and you keep your chest sinking, and then press out. This position that we end up in is essentially the same position we have with rollback. So right palm is sitting, left fingertips pointing to right forearm center. So let's do it from this direction. So we're starting in a right end of right brush knee. 1, sit back your weight, lift the right palm to the shoulder, left palm turns over. 2, complete your shift to the back, press out with the right forearm, left arm comes back, left fingertips to forearm center, and turn at the waist as you finish your roll back. Do it again from this direction. 1, shift back weight, lift the right palm, rotate the left. 2, push out with the right forearm, shift all your weight back, left arm to roll back position. 3, roll back. I want to make a distinction or just point out the differences and the similarities between this rollback and the rollback that you learned in the first section. So let's just review the rollback you did in first section. So you were in the right bow stance, but you had your right arm up here. And one for the rollback at the beginning of the first section was your whole body turned and both arms turned. So your chest turned through probably about 45 degrees-ish. Then from here, you're forward, you sit your weight back as the arms come all the way across. So again, I open my arms, weight doesn't change. Now, as my arms sweep from right to left, I shift my weight all the way across. With the Embrace Tiger rollback, we actually shift our weight back before we do the rollback movement. So let's do the Embrace Tiger Return to Mountain in the rollback. So I'm here, I'm in my right bow stance, right hand by the forearm, so by the right thigh. Shift my weight halfway, lift the right hand, rotate the left. Finish my shift back as I get into rollback position. Now my weight is all the way back already. I haven't even started my rollback yet. Now I do my rollback. Again. 1, start shifting your weight. Lift the right hand, rotate the left. Now push out with the right, pull back with the left. All the weight's on the left leg, and do your rollback. This way. 1, shift your weight back slightly. Lift the right arm, rotate the left. 2, finish shifting your weight onto the left leg and press out with the right and back with the left. So you're in this rollback position. 3, turn your waist. Again. 1, start shifting your weight to halfway. Lift the right hand, rotate the left. Your weight now is about 50-50. As you keep shifting your weight back, push out with the right forearm and pull back with the left arm. Now you've got 70% on the back leg, and that's as far as you're going to go. And now finish your rollback. So that's rollback in Embrace Tiger Return to Mountain. We'll do more repetitions in a few minutes. Let me just see if there are any questions before we go on and look at press and push. Okay. Press and push are the same press and push movements that you know. They're just not in the direction that you know. So first, I just want to give you a few reminders about press and push as we do it everywhere. So the first is we finished our rollback here. When we go to press, your right fingertips describe a circle as the right arm bends and your chest comes towards your right forearm. So essentially, you're making a circle here. From this direction, I've done my rollback to here. You'll see that my fingertips make a circle. Or actually, you'll see my fingertips moving. It's hard to see the circle on the video. But what you should see is that my chest is going to turn this way, and my forearm is going to come this way. So my chest and my forearm come towards each other. My left hand touches the right forearm center, and I press out. Then I do push. So I sit back my weight, put my palms in front of my shoulders. Now, remember, we want to make sure our elbows don't go past our sides. So when you come back after you've done press, don't come back with your elbows behind your sides. Come back with your elbows flying out to the side. That way, if your elbows go out to the side, you can keep your chest sinking. Last thing that I want to point out, and this is a little bit squirrely, is making sure that we're doing our press and push in the right direction. The right direction is in the direction of your front foot. When we're doing press and push in the first section, we're facing the side wall, so we're square to the wall, And we know which direction we're pushing. We're pushing in the direction of the wall, and same for press. When we are doing Embrace Tiger Return to the Mountain, we're on a diagonal. So I want you to be sure that you're going in the right direction. And there's a way to know whether you're going in the right direction. And that is when you're doing press and you finished your press, check that your right upper arm and your right thigh are in a line. Then you're pressing in the right direction. When you do push, check that your right arm and your right thigh are in the same direction. Then you're knowing you're pushing in the right direction. Now, I think that assumes you've got crotch rounded and a nice bow stance. I imagine there are ways of contorting yourself, but let's just assume we have a good bow stance. So let me ask Susan to join us so I can show you the applications, which hopefully will make sense of why we do things this way. Yeah. Okay, so let us just review Embrace Tiger Return to the Mountain and why we actually would do rollback after Embrace Tiger Return to the Mountain. So this will do. So I'm here, Susan comes up behind me. As you remember, the idea was I step behind her and do this, and she falls over my leg. But if she's clever, which she is, she can step out of the way. So I'm going to turn around, step behind her, she steps out of the way. Now she wants to punch at me, and I can do rollback. So as she comes in for the punch, I can just connect and do rollback. So that's why we want to do rollback. The next thing I want to show you is why we do this particular arm movement in this version. Yeah, I think this is a good sign. So take this off. So let's say Susan, no, this way. So let's say I'm here, and Susan has, let's come forward a bit. Susan has grabbed my wrist. The first thing I want to do is to go from her grabbing to me grabbing, and so I actually change. So I actually rotate my hand under her hand. Now I've got control, and I connect under her, or sort of on the center of her upper arm with my upper arm. Now I can do rollback. So let's just come out a little bit. So Susan grabs. I do the rotate. Now I can do a couple of things. One is I can just do rollback this way. The other thing I can do is I can do a wrist lock, which will take us into press and push. So Susan grabs. So rather than doing the rollback, I will just do controlling her wrist and comes down. Now, to get out of this, what Susan does is she actually rotates her elbow the other way. Now I no longer have control, and comes in. I absorb her coming in and then press out. If Susan comes back at me, I open and press. So that's how we think about doing rollback, press, and push in this movement. Thank you. Let's practice. So we'll start at Embrace Tiger Return to the Mat. We'll start at cross hands and just do the whole thing through a few times. I'll start in this direction. So we're at cross hands. Embrace Tiger Return to the Mountain. Shift your weight to the right. Pivot on the left toe, almost to the straight direction. Shift your weight back to the left. Open the right arm. Left circles down, right circles up. Step out. Heel touch when the arms are to the side. Foot flattens as the arm comes to the shoulder. Press out. Roll back. 1. Shifting the weight slightly. Rotate the left palm. Right palm comes to in front of the shoulder. 2. Push out with the right palm. Chest starts opening. 3, finish your roll back. Press, close the right arm, left palm to forearm center, pushing forward. Left palm is shoulder height, right palm is shoulder height, left palm is on right forearm center. Check that your right upper arm is in line with your right thigh. Press, open the arms, chest square, sit back. Check that your elbows are nice and out, that you still have your chest sinking. Pushing with the left back leg, push forward and push out. Again, from cross hands. 1, shift weight to the right, pivot on the left toe more than corner, less than straight. 2, open the right arm, circle down, step out, heel touch. Shift forward weight, foot flattens, arm to the shoulder, bend knee, striking out. Roll back, 1, rotate the left hand, right arm to the shoulder, check that the right elbow is to the side. 2, press out with the right forearm, pull with the left hand. 3, do your roll back. Press, nice circle with the fingertips of the right hand as you close in and press out. Push, flatten the palms, sit back, make sure you keep your chest sinking, and push out. Again, from cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to the mountain. Shift weight to the right, pivot on the left heel, almost to the straight direction. Sit your weight onto the left, drop the right arm, open the right arm, circle down with the left arm, up with the right arm, close and step, heel touch. Brush as the foot flattens, push as you bend the knee. Roll back, start shifting your weight back, lift the right palm in front of the shoulder, left hand turns over, push out with the right forearm. Do the roll back. Press, close the arms, press out, check your direction. You're going in the direction of your front foot, whatever that is. Push, sit back your weight, keep your chest sinking, and pushing out. And stop. Okay, we'll close class there. 同学们，再见。
老师再见。
再见。